Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of the Battle Cats Uber tier list, and let's just get started. If you don't know how I did this, just explain it in, I explained my methodology in the last video, so let's just get back into it. Bardiel, great alien, anti-alien, and sniper unit, so A tier for me. Saki, A tier for me, great anti-alien relic, and decent anti-red, especially to counter some tough alien, tough reds such as Professor A. Herachrist, I'd give it a C tier. It's just like a worse version of Balrog and Tekaluga. Kronos, S tier. It's a great Uber, great crowd controller. 4.3 seconds worth of freeze against all traded enemies and huge LD. Kenshin, great anti-relic with its true form and talent, so A tier for me. Ganesha, S tier for me. This is a great LD unit, 9k DPS, which is on par with Shishilan and normal Gao effective DPS with a huge LD of 275 to 725. Which one is this? That would be Michaelia? No. Here, wait, let me think about this one. Okay, so this one, it's unknown because I researched, it's not an Uber. KG Claws, C tier, it's not really that great. It's okay at best against Aku enemies. Yay, more Street Fighter collab Ubers that suck. Okay. Wonder Maria, A tier, great anti-red rusher. Just a slightly nerfed little Valkyrie, which is more niche. And this would be Eva Unit 01, which is getting a high A tier because it is strong against alien and zombie, barrier breaker, and zombie killer, and it's just a great unit. It has strengthen as well. Anubis, I'd give it a B tier. It's an okay Uber, but it's not really that great. With its true form and talent, it has slightly higher DPS and surge immune, but that's about it. Kyoshimoto, I'd give it A tier. It's a great anti-black with its guaranteed weaken and huge LD with good DPS. So this one is not an Uber, I don't think, and I think it could be Michaelia from Mercstoria. Here, I'll just keep it aside and let it do the thing. Okay, Ice Cat, B tier. It's a solid anti-red with stats similar to Peach Devils. Crazed Yuki, yay, more Yukis. Massive damage against black and red. C tier. Sakura Matao, good tank, similar to Garu, but slightly worse, of course, but it's still a great tank. Lucifer, I actually just pulled this yesterday in the Almighty's Guarantee, and it's a great unit, super good anti-Aku, anti-floating, and a great general sniper, borderline S tier for me. Power for a baseball collab, C tier. And iWalt, this would be solid. Thinking CB. It's not really that great. It's good anti-wave, but like with Octopus, you know what? I'll put it in B tier. Okay, this one, it's the anti-metal from the Fate Stay Night collab. I'll give it a C tier. It's an okay general, slightly below average, but it's pretty decent against metals. Lumina, straight to A tier. It's a great anti-alien with guaranteed weaken for 50% damage, which basically gives it 1.6 million HP, and it has good DPS at like 9k. Okay, Terran, the newest Galaxy Gals, solid B tier. It's a great anti-alien and okay against Baron enemies. Ranma Saotome, C tier, just underpowered. More Power Pro. This one's the B tier. And then Juvens, straight to A tier, borderline S tier, best tank in the game in my opinion. Vegas, high C tier. It's a good anti-metal, but sucks for generalist. Takeda Shingen, A tier, great against its traits, is a target-only Uber. Sarukani, great against its traits, also a pretty solid generalist, carries March to Death and the first two, the first debut stage. Megrin Luca, C tier, it kind of sucks, but its generalist stats are comparable to Eulala, Master Eulala, but it works against blacks and floatings. which one is this? Super Devil, A tier, great sniper, great against angels, similar to Kentaro. Another Power Pro. This is the best one in my opinion. A tier. M Bison. I'm thinking like B tier. It's good against his target traits, but even then it's like just okay. C tier. Dark Costly, in my opinion, the best trooper in the game in our first SSS tier. It has 18k DPS at level 50 with 12k DPS at level 30, huge LD and surge, and guaranteed curse with 100% uptime, which can be useful in stopping some enemies from pushing, even metal enemies like Super Metal Hippo, or like Winged Piggy can remove its weaken, which is its biggest hindrance, or even like just a ton of enemies can be countered by it, and even if its curse isn't useful, it's super high DPS, and immune to curse and immune to surge is just OP. Okay, Black Zeus, the legend rare for its set. It's actually, wait, no, this is yeah, this one's Black Zeus. I'd give it S tier. It's a super great anti-traitless on par with units like Shadow Gao, and it's just a pretty decent generalist too. Okay, this one's Ice Cat, so I'll put this one here, and then wherever I put the other Ice Cat. Wait, no, this is Succubus. Yeah, I got a true form. So this one, it's a garbage Uber. Nerve Moon, Convo Slave. These Ubers are all just, you know, they suck. Like, you don't even need to explain half of these. I'll just put them down here. This one, it actually has 690 range, but it has 0 stats, like near 0. Just gonna go through and get all the D tiers over with. That one I don't think is an Uber. Okay, I just want to go through and get them all over with because they all kind of suck. This one is Balrog, CC. This is actually not a D tier. It's actually half decent against his traits, but that's about it. Nobeluga, D tier. This one's the newest one. It can be used for its shield piercing, but even then, it can only get like 1 off, and it has a 300-second cooldown. I don't know what this one is. I don't even know if it's an Uber. Okay, now that that's all the D tiers over with, we actually have Ubers that we can rank. So this is Miraculous Mobius. I remembered it actually, and it's a solid B tier. It's an okay Uber with half decent stats and massive damage against red. Actually, wait, no, that's Mobius. This is Michaelia, which is strong against floating, 100% chance to freeze. Legaluga, for me, it's a high B tier. Even though it has slightly low stats for a rusher with long cooldown, it can still be used because of its high HP and Omni Strike. D'Artagnan, another SSS. Actually, wait, no. The highest SS tier Uber for me. It's just a great unit, massive damage to traitless with strengthen. It can have up to 30k DPS against traitless, which is as high as Gaia against traded, while also having rusher stats and super quick cooldown. And it's just super good for burst damage on stages like Possessed Evil Emperor, where you just need something to get in there and do a ton of damage. Aphrodite, another SS tier Uber for me. It's just a god tier Uber, best sniper in the game. Yami, C tier. It's like barely usable, has garbage procs, and just nothing about it is good. Madoka, solid A tier, good sniper, strong against loading with slow, so it's a good unit. Mighty Crystal Mu, solid high B tier. It's a great legendary, especially against zombies. And let's see. This is the Alien and Zombie Fate Stay Night. I'm gonna give it C tier. It's a bad generalist with a bad niche, which is knockback to Alien and Zombie, and it has low survivability. and only 50% chance to do its traits. Sakura Miku, high A tier, great sniper, and guaranteed chance to freeze alien for 2 seconds. Tokyo Miku, high B tier, it has massive damage to angels and red with great DPS and savage blows. I used it a lot, especially in mid to late game. Hibiki Ryoga, low C tier, I think it's like knockback to metal enemies and like 5% chance to crit with really low DPS, and it's also resistant to metal, but like you can't really use it against metal because it's just not good. All-Land, low C, guaranteed chance to freeze for 3 seconds and weaken for 6 seconds, literally 14 DPS, so and it's not really that usable, especially in endgame whenever stuff like Euro gets good for relics and you just have other units that can cover it. Eva Unit 02, for me, the best Uber from the club, from its banner, there's 2 banners. High A tier, massive damage to red enemies with 5.5k DPS, which is really high, and that's its base DPS, which means it has 22k DPS with LD to its target trait of red. Dale, low B tier, it's similar to Twin Stars with its generalist usage. It just has knockback to alien and angel instead of massive damage, and it's just the procs aren't really that great. This low C tier, it's a critter unit, it's Verbena, and it's not even usable until its true form, and in its true form it has like a step up multi-hit attack where its last multi-hit attack does the most damage, but you've pretty much already knocked back the enemies by then, and the crits are just so weirdly RNG, and it has terrible survivability and no generalist capabilities. Okay, with the new Soul Strike ability, Thermae's an A tier for me. He's arguably the best anti-zombie in the game, and with Soul Strike now where he can, it's the newest ability from 11.3, I just unlocked the talent for Thermae for it, and it allows it to attack the dead zombies that are lying on the ground, and finish those off before they even regen, which can be good or bad. If you wanted to like rush up and just like get to the main heat of the battle, it might not, but it's also a really good base protector, and if you're using like say like Dark Costly, and it goes through and wipes out all the zombies, but then all those undead corpses are just lying there, you could send Thermae out to go clean those up. So it's a great unit. Catman, A tier, massive damage to alien floating first form, alien angel second form, and alien relic third form. Great generalist stats, just good Uber for any point in the game. Last boss, high B tier for me. Best nuker in the game, and it has super high damage capabilities, along with 68k HP, 2 knockbacks with guaranteed survive and strengthen, and it just has super high DPS and great nuking capabilities, along with some very short recharge. Shiro Amakusa, low C tier, it's just not good against his traits, and while Aku is definitely a new thing in the meta, it still just does not work that well. Peach Devils, solid A tier, great mid-range rusher, and freeze against red and angels, which really works. Akira, I'd say mid B tier. It's an okay generalist, but it has slightly low DPS, and its entire attack is composed of force swing, which means it misses a lot, and first form it freezes, second form it has strengthen, and third form it has strong and freeze and strengthen against alien across all forms, and even though it looks great, it's just not that great simply because its stats are kind of low and the mechanics are off. And he also has wave immune in second and third form, and weaken immune across all forms. Mommy, S tier for me, it's a great unit, and I just think that it's usable in all parts of the game as a great sniper and massive damage to angels. Kana, I'd say B tier, massive damage to blacks with a weird surge and multi-hit mechanic that might make it miss a lot, but it can also juggle enemies. OG Hatsune Miku, C tier, just super underpowered. Ganglion, A tier, strong against aliens and zombies. It's just a great unit. No, that's Mystica, it sucks. Totemeki, slow versus aliens, and a pretty good generalist. It's just a pretty bare bones Uber, but it's usable mid B tier. Babel, arguably the worst legend rare, C tier. It's just a bad tank. Ku, Strong versus red and black. It's just not that great. Its force swing's way too high, and time between attacks is too high. Date Masamune, similar build with Megadora, but slightly better niche. It's just not usable anymore with the current meta. Cosmo, high B tier, arguably low A tier. Just a super good super backliner, and it can just sit in the back and do chip damage along with Cyberpunk. Cat Machine, although it has wave blocker, and it being the first wave blocker Uber, I'm still playing it in low B tier because of its shorter range and Reds and Aliens not being that tankable, along with its super entire attack being composed of force swing, which means it misses almost all the time. Archer, good sniper, but it has wave immune and no real target, which is why it's not higher up on the list, but it's still a great Uber to own. The other Windy variant, which is I think Hello Windy, I'm putting it in mid C tier. It has low stats, but actually a pretty good niche, and it's just similar to Thundia. And if you just boost it to level 40, it actually has decent stats and can be usable as an anti-alien. It's just slightly underpowered. Maybe they might make it better with its true form, but I don't know. Diorama is just a bad Uber. It's like a weird hybrid of a tank and CC. It just does not work. Akuma, the legendary from Street Fighters, B tier. It's just a worse version of Shadow Gao. Kyosuke Nanaho, A tier. It's a really good critter and pretty decent for generalist usage. Mizzly, I want to say high C tier, not low C tier, just high, close to B, because while its knockback and slow can prove to be bad, it actually kind of works in some stage, especially with the Alien Cyclone, or whenever there's not really much of a frontline threat and just backline. It can really keep the enemies back, while using it on some stages might spell dooms. Using it on some stages might actually help you a lot and possibly carry you. Reitama, almost S tier but a high A tier. It's just Mitama, but slightly worse. Summoner Satoru, I love this unit. It's a pretty decent sniper with really good CC against Aku. It's a mid B tier for me. Snomiku, this is a low A. It's top 5 anti-traitless Ubers, and pretty much the best anti-traitless Uber that isn't a legend rare or a Fest exclusive, with its freeze and strong along with a pretty good LD. Sonata Yukimura, S tier for me. It's just a great overall rusher, arguably as good as Awakened Bahamut at level 50 max talents and massive damage to black, along with a super short cooldown of 80 seconds. AAA Wonder, one of my favorite units from Evangelion, is a reskin of Mighty Bomber, but with massive damage to angels and zombies with Z-Killer and rapid attacks. It's just so fun, and it has really good stats to back it up. Poseidon, high B tier, low A tier. Guaranteed freeze versus metal and zombie with Z-Killer and just super high DPS and savage blows. Costly, another SS tier Uber, arguably the second or third best Uber in the game next to Dosly and Mitama. And it's just a super good unit with 9k DPS at level 30 and level 2 Surge, I think. Yeah, level 2 Surge and 50% chance to knockback, which can possibly cause a triple knockback, and it's to all traded enemies, so it's absolutely OP. Mighty Dreadnought. This one's a really good Uber. I say low A tier because of its super good high DPS, high range, good health, decent knockbacks, and massive damage to red, and zombie with zombie killer. Sodom, just a bad unit in general, a bad tank, just flops at everything, terrible CC. Mitama, last but not least, it's the last SS tier in my opinion. It's just a super good Uber, 15 knockbacks, 30k HP, but resist to traded, which gives it 120 or 150k HP. That's just at level 30. 4k DPS with range from 250 to 650, standing at 350, which is a super big LD, and pretty much instant attack animation and 5 seconds between attacks, which is pretty short. And it slows for 4 seconds with all treasure effects. That's 80% uptime, guaranteed slow to all traded enemies with super good DPS for its survivability, and it's just a god tier Uber, and in my opinion is the second best Uber in the game next to these. Dostley and Matama are interchangeable for first and second best Uber in the game, and I'll just go through and reorder the SSS, SS, and S tier Ubers to reflect my opinion for especially these two and what I think are 1 to whatever best Uber in the game. So I think these three are pretty much final for me. D'Artagnan, and then here, let me think. I think Aphrodite over Amaterasu, and D'Artagnan over Ys. I'd put Gao up there at a lower level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'd put Kronos up there for its super good abilities, and probably I would be putting. Trying to think which one of these S tier Ubers fits the criteria for some of the best Ubers in the game. I would probably say Shadow Gao at number 10. So this is my top 10 Ubers right here, and this is my tier list. I'll just scroll down really quickly so that you guys can see. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. I know I had to speed through a lot of these Ubers, but that's because I didn't want this video to be like 3 hours long, and I will be trying to upload more often. And I hope you guys have a great day. Please like and subscribe and share, and bye.